Good morning on a gorgeous Sunday morning. Absolutely peaceful here. Not a breath of wind, perfectly sunny, good forecast for the week ahead. Fantastic. Going to do a plot tour of all three plots today. Only a quick one, very brief, nothing in too much detail. 2 weeks away from the allotments with COVID has played havoc with the weeds. Obviously I've perhaps let things go a little bit on the run up to that 2 weeks, but this 2 weeks has really been a bit of an eye turner. Oh well, so now it's going to be a matter of recovery, which is not going to be too hard because it's all small stuff really, and getting back to a productive garden. This first plot here is my plot that I've taken over for last year, and I'm moving forward into autumn now and planning the crops for autumn harvests. The squash bed here has been an outlandish success, so much so it's actually taking over the next bed a little bit. These are going to be cut back and harvested very soon, and then we'll see what the bed is like underneath. That won't be today, I'm on limited time, and I've got quite a few bits and pieces to do with just the weeding side of things. The alfalfa here is coming on very well. It'll be interesting to see what the roots are like though. This was the first crop sown, so I'm going to dig up a small patch. I know it's against the idea of no dig, but I want to see how it's actually getting on underground where it's most important. I wasn't too impressed with the other plots with the alfalfa for fixing nitrogen, so I really want to see how this is going on in comparison with my usual winter tares and field beans, which I know fix nitrogen lovely. The funny thing is, nitrogen is only supposed to be fixed above 8 degrees, so the experts tell us. I've never had a problem with my overwintering stuff, so why the problem with the alfalfa, I wonder. Right then, so on to my main plot, the old plot. This is a pumpkin that's doing rather well in bed 1. Bed 2, I've sown winter tares and covered them briefly until I got ill and left the last 2 weeks. So they've gone rather leggy. The job is only shade cloth. These should recover. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I will sow along the sides there another crop of winter tares. If you compare it with the bottom half, which wasn't covered, you can see how much growth they've missed out on. Anyway, let's just wait and see how they develop there. In the next bed over is alfalfa, doing very well. A little bit of concern about the ability to fix nitrogen, and there are weeds in there that I need to get out. The comfrey is doing superb. Over to my cabbages, again, these are doing absolutely fabulous. These have been fed on only the green manure that was grown there last winter. You see the size of the heads, they're football sized, a little bit too big actually, very healthy, a little bit of slug or pest damage, but really not going to affect the crop. Apples are just about ready to pick. And this plot, the curly kale is ready. The red cabbage is struggling to heart up. Lots of whitefly. Bit worried about this crop. It's really not doing well at all. I'm not sure this is going to be a total failure. Oh well, I haven't failed at red cabbage before, so that'll be a novelty. Beans, total disaster now. Since they just this bed was a lesson in overcrowding. Too much packed in, too small a space. None of it really thrived very well. The Monclano broccoli did really well, but that was the first up. This bed, this green Utah celery has gone to seed. Really disappointing crops this year. I know it's struggling with the moisture levels. I've got a couple plants left. I will try and overwinter them last year, as I did with Laney, the variety Laney, really successfully. But I don't really rate my chances very highly at all. The rogue sunflower, still going. Not sure really where that one came from. It wasn't from me, it's just a rogue seed. The alfalfa, doing well, but the roots aren't showing the nitrogen nodules that I want. The carrots are looking superb. Let's see if we can. Yeah, looking good. Not bad at all. Yeah, that'll do me. Excellent job. I can start harvesting those. Last of the dahlia, monster dahlia, still performing well. Got to cut a few of those. My sweet corn that was underplanted with clover did well, but it's largely too late now. It's got a couple of cobs left in there. That one and that one. At least the netting has kept the squirrels off, so that's done well. I've got to harvest those. And then lastly, my disastrous tomatoes. They didn't like the desert conditions that 2 weeks of no watering gave them. Oh well, chop these down, recycle the stems, get rid of the tomatoes that are rotten on the stems, and prepare for next year. Inside my polytunnel is another Taylor wool. Cucumbers that were ready to plant out have gone completely over. And no watering, of course, has deprived them of any sort of crop. Nice pepper underneath there, I think. But the sweet corn is really struggling to put on any weight. They're quite a small size. Again, I think that's because of the lack of water. I have watered them now, but probably a bit too late. Oh well, never mind. Always next year. The sunflower heads are ready to be harvested. The carrots are now been harvested because they went dry. Troy onions here, looking good. There's a couple dodgy ones that have got succumbed to the white rot. But generally speaking, it looks like I've saved that lot by cropping like I did. Elephant garlic, absolutely fine. And Santero onions, again, fine. I'll finish this video with a quick preview of my compost, the wood-based compost. That has been sitting there with no help whatsoever, and it's still up at 6 degrees. That's 2 weeks of doing nothing, and it's still performing well. More in the next vlog, and I'll update you properly in that one. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.